New York's historic pro-tenant rent reforms have been passed, with approval from Governor Andrew Cuomo, who stated, "At the beginning of this legislative session, I called for the most sweeping, aggressive tenant protections in state history. I'm confident the measure passed today is the strongest possible set of reforms that the legislature was able to pass and are a major step forward for tenants across New York." Most economists, however, tend to agree that rent controls can be counterproductive. Proponents of New York's new rent control rules claim that they are of benefit to the poor. However, the reverse can happen, with the new bill potentially leading to a decrease in housing availability and housing quality, with the potential to force more New Yorkers out onto the street, all whilst making it look like it's the private sector's fault. Rent regulation is an umbrella term under which there are two types of laws: rent control laws and rent stabilization laws. Rent control laws only apply to families who have occupied an old apartment for several decades. According to the New York City Rent Guidelines Board, only 22,000 New Yorkers fit into that category. Rent stabilization laws, however, affect a lot more people, as they apply to nearly all apartment buildings of 6 or more units built between February the 1st, 1947 and January the 1st, 1974. Under rent stabilization, the government sets the amount by which landlords can raise rent each year. Under current laws, landlords can only raise the rent an additional 6% in order to make improvements to the property. However, that amount will decrease to 2% under the new bill, giving landlords even less of an incentive to make improvements. When a landlord has a vacancy, he can raise the rent for that unit by up to 20% under the current law. The new bill seeks to abolish this. Under the current law, rent stabilization units can also be deregulated, enabling a rent increase if the tenant's income exceeds $200,000 for 2 years in a row. This new bill seeks to abolish this also. There is speculation that New York's new rent regulation bill will decrease housing availability by putting landlords out of business. It will result in a lack of building maintenance, leading to a reduction in the quality of housing, and also encourage condo conversions, leading to an increase in luxury apartments with rent above the threshold of $2,774 caught by the Act, and a reduction in more affordable housing. The reforms are a reaction to New York's well-documented affordable housing crisis, which is affecting millions of New Yorkers. Since Mayor Bill de Blasio has been elected, the city has built a large number of affordable housing units. However, questions rebound as to who can actually afford them. The city lost thousands of rent-regulated apartments due to laws that made it easier for landlords to take them out of regulation. The cost of living has also far outpaced residents' ability to pay ever-increasing rents.